In the summer of 1940, the world held its breath. Nazi Germany had conquered much of Europe. Only Britain stood defiant. After the evacuation at Dunkirk, a sense of danger gripped the island nation. Prime Minister Winston Churchill rallied his people. He vowed, "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets." His words echoed the courage of the Royal Air Force pilots, young men facing a formidable enemy. The German Luftwaffe, under Hermann Göring, had a different goal. Their objective was to crush the RAF and gain air superiority over the English Channel. This would allow Hitler to launch Operation Sea Lion, a planned invasion of Britain. The fate of Britain, and perhaps the free world, hung in the balance. The skies above southern England were about to become a crucial battleground. The Luftwaffe possessed seemingly overwhelming strength. The Messerschmitt Bf 109, a formidable fighter, would challenge the RAF's Spitfires and Hurricanes. German bombers like the Heinkel He 111 and Dornier Do 17 threatened to rain destruction from above. The stage was set for a clash of air power that would shape history. The RAF, though outnumbered, had a crucial advantage: radar. This new technology gave early warnings of incoming German raids, allowing the British to scramble their fighters and meet the enemy head-on. Experienced pilots, many of them veterans of the Spanish Civil War, formed the backbone of the RAF's defense. They were determined to defend their homeland, whatever the cost. The Battle of Britain officially began on July 10, 1940, but the fighting intensified from August 13th. This marked the start of Adlertag, Eagle Day, as the Luftwaffe launched massive attacks on RAF airfields and radar stations. From that day forward, the skies over southern England were filled with the roar of engines and the chatter of machine guns. The Luftwaffe pilots, confident in their numbers and equipment, followed strict orders and formations. Their goal was to destroy the RAF on the ground and in the air. One German pilot, Oberleutnant Franz von Vera, later captured and imprisoned, described the intensity of the dogfights. "It all happened so incredibly quickly. You only had time to see that your opponent was closing fast, guns firing, then you pulled away, violently. It was every man for himself." On the other side, RAF pilots faced relentless waves of attackers. They flew with a ferocity born of desperation, knowing that their country's survival depended on their courage. Squadron leader Roger Bushell, later famed for his role in the Great Escape, expressed the pressure they faced. "There were simply too many of them. We were outnumbered, but we fought like tigers." British tactics focused on breaking up the rigid German formations, exploiting the agility of the Spitfire and Hurricane. The days blurred into a relentless cycle of combat. Exhausted pilots, often flying multiple sorties a day, faced death at every turn. The ground crews worked tirelessly, patching up damaged aircraft and preparing them to face the enemy again. The outcome of the battle hung precariously in the balance. August 18, 1940, became known as the hardest day. Both sides suffered heavy losses in a brutal air battle over the Thames estuary. The Luftwaffe lost 69 aircraft, the RAF 68. The human cost was immeasurable. The strain on both sides was immense. Despite their losses, the Luftwaffe continued its onslaught. Their bombing raids targeted airfields, radar stations, and vital infrastructure. The skies above southern England were a maelstrom of twisting dogfights and exploding bombers. The airfields of Kent and Sussex, known as Bomber County, became the front line. On August 24th, a German bomber formation, off course due to navigational errors, accidentally bombed London. This was a turning point. Churchill, outraged, ordered a retaliatory raid on Berlin. While the damage was minimal, the symbolic impact was huge. Hitler, enraged, shifted the Luftwaffe's focus to London itself. This decision, driven by anger rather than strategy, would have profound consequences. The Blitz, as the bombing of London came to be known, began on September 7, 1940. Night after night, German bombers pounded the city, causing widespread destruction and civilian casualties. While terrifying for Londoners, this shift in tactics gave the RAF a much-needed respite. With the pressure on their airfields eased, the RAF could regroup and rebuild. Their pilots, rested and re-equipped, inflicted heavy losses on the Luftwaffe. The tide of the battle was turning. By October, it was clear that Germany had failed to achieve its objective. Operation Sea Lion, the invasion of Britain, was postponed indefinitely. The Battle of Britain, though costly for both sides, had been won by the RAF. Their bravery and skill, combined with the technological advantage of radar and the strategic blunder of bombing London, had saved Britain from invasion. The spirit of the few, as Churchill famously called them, would forever be etched in the annals of history. The skies above Britain had borne witness to their courage and sacrifice.